Thus, the lonely existence of an only child continued until the happy coincidence of two not entirely unconnected events. The first involved my disappearance. I was 4. This was the 1950s, and apart from reading, listening to the wireless and being helpful around the house, there was not much to keep a child entertained at home. And then I got my first dog because my mother realized that me walking around the village with a string with Timmy on the end was not a very good idea. And my mother's cousin, who, like my mother, was called Winifred, bred corgis. I think she had slight royalist tendency. But her best bitch had not paid attention to the blueness of her blood and had gone out and mated with some strange foreigner. And so she asked my mother if she could basically palm one off onto us. And so for my 5th birthday, I got Taffy. Wasn't called Timmy. Taffy was a kind of nod to his Welshness, and that was my first dog. And I realized when I had Taffy that I need, with a dog, ever be lonely again.
I'm not a very good reader, actually, so I think I won't read, but I will just say how I came to write this, because I'm extremely easily flattered. And somebody said, we'd love you to do your life. Would you like to do it? And my first instinct, actually, was, oh, no, because I'm quite secretive, and also it's sort of too nosy, really. And then I thought, well, one day I will. My one day is now, actually, because I'm running out of days. So I thought, well, you know, and then, only recently, actually, and it's about 2 months since this has been out, I suddenly thought it's a much better idea if you say what you want to say about your life and your friends and your family and everything else. Otherwise, some not altogether person on your side will do it, and then all hell's let loose, and it would be ghastly. And I'm sure that's happened to lots of people. So I thought, well, why not? And I'm thrilled I've done it. Eleanor Bron, my friend, said to me that you can't write irony. And it's sort of true, actually. And because I've never written before, and I realise how terribly important your choice of word is. Because if Arabella and I are joking on the phone to each other, for instance, we're often quite rude to each other, aren't we? Yeah. And I think she's joking. I hope she is. You know, if you write down something and you're sort of joking, unless you can see the person's face, it could seem awfully cruel, or it could seem quite, you know, stark or a bit callous.
I found it, I thought, because I've had quite a, as you might have guessed from meeting me today, I've got quite a confrontational personality. So I had addressed it with my parents by when I mean, that's why I really became, if I may, funny, because that was how I coped with it. You know, when my parents were saying, you can't have this, you have, I first got quite sort of, I'll do what I like, and then I would do a lot of, wait a minute, Dad, is chocolate fattening? Because I want to check before I eat it now. And he'd go, oh, very funny. But, you know, I would start to sort of joke about it, and that was how I outed it. So when I thought about writing this book, I thought I wouldn't have, they were both alive then. I had to kill them to write the book in the end.
Well, on that note, I think I'd like to thank 3 highly successful women. Jenni, Arabella, Celia.